All right, grand day, everyone. It's Shay Seeking or Shalonda, and we're back again. We're going to be looking into, whatever I'm doing here. I feel like what I'm doing is connecting with. I don't like to use channeling because, again, they want to seek out people as witches these days, right? So they can divide and conquer, right? But I have this book here from 1850. It was owned by Isaac Walker. Okay. And it's called The Pictorial History of the United States by John Frost. The illustrations are by W. Kroom. And this is volume 1. And you know what? Just for the heck of it, I'm going to show y'all. Hold on. All right. I'm going to show y'all the picture. This is the front page of the book. 1850. And this is what Indians look like. I mean, these even look like locks here. The depiction that they were giving again at that time. And all this stuff is signs and symbols. All this stuff here at the bottom. I mean, I think this is what I used to use, because it even looked like a name or something is written here, actually. And this is why you see those guys. Even here, there's something. Oh, y'all can't see because I don't have a mouse. Damn. Okay, like on his knee, on his inner thigh. That's a symbol or something written there. All of this is for, look real close to these details. This is why I used to see those men with even here. Oh, let's see. All this shit right here, you see it in the middle? What's up inside of this loop here? There's stuff all written, coded. I wonder what kind of things this is he has on his hands or his fingers. Look kind of like some kind of bands or something. Yeah, all this is symbolic. There was something here that caught my eye, though. Even here, right here. Even look like it says rum right here. Fried rum or something there. Anyhow, I don't know. I can get lost for days. Oh, there's something here, too. Written on this bow. So yeah, all this stuff is, everything, is coded, okay? And I'm just upset because I saw another word or something that I wanted to look at, but we're not going to spend all day doing that, okay? So again, I'm just going, like I told myself, I'm just going to start doing something that I'm in the mood to do. That we're just, again, we're talking about his story. We want to be walking into a new one. Society wants us to forget about the past. They feel like if you live in the past, that's where you will remain. And I feel like, okay, that's cool. But there's signs and symptoms even of what the hell is going on. Now, I'm not saying nobody can't be out here living your life to the fullest, right? I'm never saying that. I'm just saying pay attention. That used to be one of my favorite hashtags. And it does cost. But in the end, if you're not, it'll cost you a lot more. And that's it, I want to just be this person that just, like, what are we talking about? We're talking about God. We look at the Bible. People want you to put your energy into the biblical text. Some of that is the past. It's because this story is repeating itself. And again, if people are not careful, you're going to end up there. And again, these people, some of these people at the top have had a very long time to build during this Fake shit. That's just what we're going to call it. At the end of the day, we can be riding off into something so magnificent and so wonderful. But is anybody even questioning anything anymore? That's very concerning. So this part of the book is talking about the Virginia under the London Company, or Virginia. And they're talking about Pocahontas. And I'm going to skip through, okay? All right, so again, I keep getting interrupted. I apologize. All right, so it says here that the governor also set some to fishing within the bay, and the others without, where there were shoals of codfish. But their nets and tackle, we're just jumping right in, conditions of the colonists. But their nets, and again, I was just reading, I mean, maybe this is something referencing to what I was just reading in the text, because we were talking about nets. And I was just thinking snare, right? And again, some people are going to try to make you think that it's, when it's talking about like, when we're talking about trafficking or some of these snares that are set up, that it's only men that you have to worry about. But I beg to differ. It ain't about who you are, what you look like. It's about who the hell you connected to at the end of the day. And you'll see the difference. You'll see the difference between the treatment of certain parties and others. Who they want you to hear and what they want you to do, and who they don't want you to hear and don't want you to do. So it says anyways here that the governor also set some fishing within the bay. Again, fishers of men. And others without, where there were shoals of codfish, but their nets and tackle were so defective, they could not catch any. Okay, whereupon he endeavored to settle a correspondence, co-respondence with Powhatan, and other Indian princes, that he might purchase flesh of them for other English goods. Well, I'm telling y'all, we talking about these tribes and stuff. I mean, everybody, it's good. We have to know these things, or we should know these things, but man, some were already foreign, Yeah. Meat, muscular part, animal body, as opposed to the soul. Living creatures. Okay, because later on in this chapter is going to say something about that. We'll get to it, about Africans not being, I can't remember what exact type of slave that they said they were. A living creature. So again, he blew the breath and they became living beings or living creatures. Near kindred, flesh and blood, piece of meat, torn off to tear. I mean, I'm just trying to figure out what we're talking about. A carnal nature, animal of physical. Now we're just doing etymology on flesh, and we're just running through the definitions, through the history of the word, which they started to use Old English, which the Bible is written in Old English, Well, after the Geneva, and you get my drift. Let's see. Okay, let's see. Of fruits. So again, of fruits from 1570. So again, fruits are not the roots. It's not the tree trunk. It's not even the branches. It's what produce or was produced or the product. You see? The same fruit and creeping things and all these things from Genesis 1. But first, the earth joined with the earth. That means that other people that looked like other people came upon them people and they mingled or were grafted in. Kinmen, mankind, Israelite. So it says carnal nature, animal or physical nature of man. Sensual appetite, okay? But then again, from 1670, it's talking about the hue of Caucasian skin, okay? Because again, now it is mixed. You get my drift? All right? Light pink with a tint of yellow, okay? Let's just see. And I think that's just it. Oh, flesh company was an old term for sexual intercourse. Okay, so it's saying here, flesh home. Wait, Old English poetry body, literally flesh home. A religious tract from 1548 has fleshling, a sensual person. Okay, flesh company, 1520. So again, 1520, we're reading about 1620 or around 1620, and we're in 2020. Okay, was an old term for sexual intercourse. Sexual intercourse is not just talking about having regular sex. It's talking about, it's talking about the mixing of, again, just even kinsmen or mixing of. It's talking business basically, right? So again, not having sexual intercourse with your wife or something like this in the biblical text is sometimes talking about you not dealing with any other company or corporation or nation. You see what I'm saying? That's like you work, I'm your overseer, I purchase you, you work on this plantation. We don't want to see you next door at Bob's doing nothing for him. You work here. You see what I'm saying? So then this is where we're talking about like all the wars, the French in this war, and then the Indians went with these people, but then the next time they didn't want to fight with them no more, so they went over here. These kind of things, these are sexual intercourses right here that we're talking about in some instances. Okay, and again, you can do the etymology on it. I don't know why this phone call just want to pick itself up. Okay. So again, it's very important to look at this. Flesh as the verb, 1522, render, a hunting animal. Again, so like I told you right here, it says that they're fishing. You see what I'm saying? This version of the religious aspect of this Jesus was a fisher of men. So he had to fish for the men first. After you fish for the men and either use them or abuse them, then you can use your net to catch all the women and children that are going to be the sensual part of the group. The ones that will not be able to protect themselves that much in that manner. So hunting animals. Animals, when you break it down in etymology, also means people. Eager for prey by rewarding it with flesh from a kill. So again, I did something already on the fur trade and how we found out that we are also talking about the trading of flesh. Had a bigger part when they're talking about beavers and stuff. Keyword, look them up. Meaning to clothe or embody with flesh. Wow. Okay. Also, flesh, alternative name for the body of human beings. So a tribe or a group. Flesh, also a soft, moist part of the fruit. Okay. You get, okay. Another one in WordNet is flesh, the soft tissue of the body of a vertebrate, mainly muscle tissue and fat. Remove adhering flesh from hides when preparing leather manufactures. So, you know, be careful. Motherfucker be telling you got some soft skin and all this shit. Just saying. Okay. Let's keep going. All right. So it says that, so we get the drift. Now, let's just follow the storyline and see what makes sense and what don't. All right. And see why we ain't talking about trafficking and shit like that no more. Like these babies just coming back home in numbers. When I thought when, who was in so-called office, that there was this whole big sting and all this stuff. You know what I'm saying? And then this whole thing came around, this fakery came around, and now there's no talk about it anymore. Really? It's like the shit just disappeared. All right. So they couldn't catch any, okay? But their nets and tackle were so defective that they could not catch any fish. What we talking about? Y'all be looking at them statues? Them Greek statues and stuff? Some of these images of or people in general, on this land, chilling, you know what I'm saying, especially in California. It just looked like they kind of just had the same mannerisms and behaviors as we did, like roasting, playing dice, sitting there, you know what I'm saying? So it's just funny to see this. And this is what they would call lazy, right? Because they said that the people were, lazy. They like to lay out in the sun and stuff like that. And I noticed that a lot of people are reverting back to that, being out in nature and just, soaking it in, taking it in. But don't act like we don't see nobody walking around with no baskets on their heads and all this stuff too. So like I said, there's always going to be, there's going to be a balance. That's just what it's going to be. Okay. All right. So again, their stuff was defective. So again, I mean, this is okay. And then it made me think about like when you look at the darker colored, is it the Etruscan? I'm not sure. When we see these other images of people with these, you know what I'm talking about, where it's just like taking up the whole picture. It's like bigger than the person, right? So it's just like, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, again, on this channel, we're going to keep it like all the way real. Because again, I find that there are very interesting things in the biblical text and in here when you start to know how to break it down. Okay. So whereupon he endeavored to settle and correspond with Powhatan and the other Indian princes. Okay. That he might purchase flesh from them for English goods. So again, flesh, I'll give you goods. So they start bringing in tea and all, you know what I'm saying? Okay, we'll get to it. And in some of the negotiations, he succeeded, particularly with the king of Ptolemaic. One of the most potent of the Indian princes. But notwithstanding, he represented to Powhatan that he had already promised to acknowledge the King of England for his sovereign. accepted of a crown and scepter. The scepter shall never leave Judah. I'm just saying, what are we talking about here? And the other ensigns of royalty from him. With presents of great value, this prince would give him no other answer, but that he expected the English should depart his country, or confine themselves within the limits of Jamestown's island. Okay. Thing of water. $16.20. Subjected to flood. A landmass. Surrounded by water. A zone or resembling an island. River running water. Okay, those were related entries. Like, just, I'm pulling from related entries there. He had already promised to acknowledge the King of England for his sovereign, accepted of the crown and scepter, and ensign of royalty from him, and present the great value. The prince would give him no other answer, but that he expected the English should depart his country, or confine themselves within the limits of Jamestown Island, and not range through every part of the country. And as they continued to do, only with a view of subduing it. Okay, so again, they wanted to subdue it. So again, even this is reminding me of something symbolic. Negotiations have been made with the people that were more friendly, but I'm keeping my shit right here. This is how it's gonna be, but you can go over there, right? And what I'm saying is, some of this stuff feels like this shit is happening on a spiritual level. So there's some people among us, you're not even really, so it's keeping us, it's like right under your nose. It's like keeping you dumbfounded or confused while certain things are going on. But the whole thing is, I'm looking at a sense of like someone that has been put in a position, right? They made a deal with them. Stay out of my shit, but you can go do whatever you want to do anywhere else. And so, it's like, I don't know, or just go do what you want to do in any other part. But yeah, that's exactly what I feel like I'm seeing. But I would think that this is where the division would start, because I wonder if there was a warning, right? Because now you done opened up the gate. You done let all these motherfuckers in. Now you want to close it. And now these motherfuckers in here, they want to subdue, which means to take over, to rule over, to bring something down very low. You know what they wanted to do and allowed it, because a position was given to certain people at certain times that would be more easier to deal with. This is what I've been reading on. So again, I come to bring the information, share the information with you guys. Just to see how we're seeing if these things are happening today. Low key. So that's where where it's almost like that part about turning on your brother. Like that the brothers should never turned on each other. Or like a Judas Issachar. Okay? So it's just like, it's just really thickly embedded in the story of this. And what makes us think it's not going to be the same way today. But then they're just a little bit more crafty today is all. Right? So that's what I was saying about like anybody that's already had it's not like to hate on nobody. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm just bringing awareness to these certain things because they're fucking going on. And it's real stuff. It's real stuff that affects people's real life. You know? So again, I think, let me see it, because I think we did something on ensign. A token, a sign, a symbol, a badge of office. So again, yeah, a mark or insignia of authority or rank, a battle flag, a banner. So again, these people would be having this mark, right? They would have some kind of something, right? So even when we read about how, like we've done, you know, stuff on this channel, okay, where they had given certain people a flag and said, you know, if you agree to these things or we good to move on past you, go ahead and put your flag up. And, you know, some of the tribes, some of the chiefs didn't even want to mess with that. So they didn't use, you know, they didn't use the flags, and then they ended up getting consumed by these very people. You know, and again, once they finish pillaging all that and coming back, they're going to come back for your ass. And so that's what I'm saying about it. Just, I don't know. I just don't, people acting like they know his story, but I'm just figuring out if we really do. Because again, even me, like some of the things that I've been through, like, I'm like, dude, are you serious? Girl, you the one was teaching this. What the hell is wrong with you? You know what I'm saying? So again, you know, there's a time when you want to, you know, trust the process. But then there's times when, you know, the ancestors stepping in and saying, no, you know what, guard your gut. Shit, listen to that. You know, listen to us. And so again, this is, yeah. So again, it's a marker or something that these people, so it's a secret code of some type of society that some of these particular people that are going to be amongst us in this time are going to be involved in. So the news couldn't get around that quick back then. You see? And again, I just noticed that sometimes, like, it's just out of character for certain people to talk about certain things, but when you bring it up and they feel kind of guilty or something, you guys, I mean, I'm just saying, then they'll come back with it like, oh, like they brought it up, and then try to put something on it where it's like, don't worry about what the stuff I'm doing, but it's something like that, but you only have to worry about it in this way or with these particular people, or put another name or title, when low key, I'm just saying. So mama gonna tell your ass the truth. When we're talking about idols and strange women, they are going to be trying to dominate. They're going to use and misuse the noble men or the princes and things. You know, and so again, it is because they have some kind of authority and they know where they came from with that particular type of authority, or with the group or whatever they were a part of. And so again, same thing. There was ties. Like, no, that's my daughter. You're not gonna, you know, we already came up with this, this ensign, right? A person who holds a commissioned rank in the United States Navy, Coast Guard, again. So when we're talking about when we just gonna say was talking about, oh, they talking about don't bring water to people standing in line for vote. Y'all break that shit down. We is not talking about what they talking about. I mean, the headlines tell it all. You just got to be able to read between the lines and break it down. And it had a lot to do with Georgia. You know, they talking a lot about Georgia. A lot to do with Georgia. There's a lot of talk about Georgia right now. I think, you know, some things may not be going the way that they were supposed to be going. But, you know, let's see. All right, so let's keep going. So again, they were going to subdue it. And again, that's what, you know, subduing is. It's just, you know, it's one of those terms that I just advise you look up. Mainly, late 14th century is to conquer, to reduce to subjugation. What did I just do the video on the other day that we were talking about? To deceive, to seduce. We're talking about bribery, all the things that we've been talking about for the past month or two. Draw away, lead away, carry off, withdraw. It's all over again, dude. Pay attention, man. Put down by force or intimidation. That's exactly what they're doing to moi, right? Okay. But again, we have certain members and families that have been split, where a portion of it is being used and a portion of it is maybe like what they would call like the holy version, right? Or the version of the family that would be the spiritual, and then there would be the other part that would be grafted in, or those who came right at a certain time and were used for conquering or used for war or used for something, and given promises and given things that now their children's children will inherit these promised fucking lands. It's not talking about most of you. It's not talking about the 90% of you. It's talking about certain people that's connected and have certain fucking ties to certain things. This is the way they did it before. But those that have been left out in the cold or pushed to the side are going to be the true blood, the true ones. But again, they're going to be speaking like me, and these motherfuckers at the top ain't going to want to have nothing to do with them. So what they're going to do, they're going to stage a campaign, a smear campaign or something, and they're going to use certain devices in order to maneuver. Because it's all about dividing. That's why, and even when we're talking about these islands, right? So it was one part that was the island. That's the part of the land of the King James or whatever that they fucking separated. Then you have your other part, which is the commissioners or the correspondents, right? That have been planted there, because plants are also talking about fucking people in the Bible. And again, it's just the same thing. So the work been laid out for y'all already. Same people will be what? Piggybacking off of the originals, taking their shit, using it. You see what I'm saying? Causing strife and envy and all these other things against the original. Taking all the goods and shit. Keeping the originals distracted. Keeping them dumbfounded. And using other things as well to do it. Sorcery, witchcraft, and all this shit. It's the same thing going on. It's the same thing. There's nothing different. I bet, I'm going to tell you there's nothing different. There's nothing different. And ain't nobody mad about that. I'm upset that the people can't see. I've been built for this. The shit it affects me, but not like that. It really don't. I'm going to get it back. But no, they think that they got something going on where they think they're going to be coming at some certain people, and not just. Don't think that's going to be the case this time. Every generation, something has happened. And some of us, these black sheep that been pulled out to do something. I don't know about these 60% that been vaccinated. I don't know. I don't trust. That's all I'm saying. I can see that shit. Man. I didn't even want to say that whole word. By subduing it. So again, we're going to keep this idol here, this golden calf, which everybody gave all their gold and stuff to build it up, make it look real pretty and sweet, while we turn this other portion into the island. Meanwhile, this king that's sitting in this position is saying, hey, you know what I'm saying, do what you want to do, just don't fuck with my shit. But at the end of the day, what does that mean? That means somebody is out for themselves. That means somebody out for themselves. And it's the ones with the good heart, the pure heart, that want to do something to help somebody. That what? So I've been ready. I've been already knowing it. So again, and once my eyes start just getting open, I already see it. And then people want to wonder why you can't trust a motherfucker. Like, what do you want? What are you really talking about? You wonder why? I'm not afraid. I'm just smart. And I got to stay where the hell I'm at. I got to do what I got to do. And if they try coming, listen. Fortress. I don't know. Just thought about that. So again, by subduing it, and this person knew, this portion of the family line knew that they were going to go over to that portion of the family line, but then there's nobody to come back for the goods if it gets done. It's off with their heads. Same thing was going on with Mary and in Elizabeth. Same thing. Elizabeth cold, out for herself, cutthroat. I respect really a lot how she was. And Mary was sweet. All the guys coming lining up. But she the one that off with her head. Because again, that's what I'm saying about that whole thing about the sons coming against the mother. And that's where the balls got clipped off right there. I'm going to just tell you right now. When it comes to colonization and create this, that's where it happened. Motherfucker get you to turn against your own mama. See? But then we have to think about some things that goes on in the Catholic Church and things like this, right? And why they just don't want women to speak and they don't want women to talk. Because a real queen gonna speak from the heart and soul. She gonna do what she do. She also gonna respect her king. She ain't gonna treat him any kind of way as long as he treat her the same way. That's how I look at it. You fill her up, she gonna be there. Just like any other woman, but like times 10. So again, subduing it, and he apprehended. Let's see. Okay. Treating to issue his order to cut them off and destroy them. So again, we are hearing people in this day and age say the same damn thing. See, but one of these people, again, would be a portion of an idol. They would be the one that would be seeming as though they have all this information coming in out of nowhere, giving you all this shit. Well, the other motherfucker been sitting here hours and hours worth, and then again, really? You sitting there with a notepad and shit? Lofty, exalted one. Not the righteous one, the exalted one. They're giving you the perception of some shit. They're giving you the perception. As soon as then listening to the real, they're going to get a little, oh, I wonder if they, so you've been talking all that shit now. Somebody ain't afraid to say what it looked like it is. And now you want to say something about these things. And then try to say, oh, it's like over here. Nah, motherfucker, y'all better pay attention. And what did Elizabeth do? She just felt so, she couldn't even really look at her. She was too weak to even look at her. To look at Mary. Too weak to even look at her. Knowing they was going to lock her up, cut off and then took the baby, right? And who the baby end up with? Who the baby end up with? Only these days, there's another crafty way to do it. Only these ways, you better be paying attention. I don't know, like I said, if some of you have been having problems with certain things or feeling some kind of way. You better be paying attention. Ain't even about me, right? It's about the people. That's why I'm pissed off. Because 10% or less of our people have gotten something together for themselves. See, and want to point the finger at other people because they do what I do. When again, when you expand the mind, there's no limits to that. These people gonna go take this shit and do greater things than I do. And I don't mind that. It's just when you my opponent, when I wasn't even aware. And you talking all that, but you coming over here taking it too? Thinking you're going to keep me underneath some kind of... And see, that's what I'm saying. So again, on this channel, we just getting like one view. We just getting one view. Okay. Somebody listening. Oh, I'm telling you. Sources. I'm really just, I don't even understand. I mean, how many more times and how I can say it. But I guess at this point, nobody's really listening, and I'm still just talking to the wind. So again, it'll just be me at the end, and that's okay. Somebody will catch wind of it, hopefully. So again, when you hear these people saying, oh, all these people got to go, all them people got, it's already been a part of the plan. It's already been a part of the plan, dude. I'm trying to tell you. From a long time ago. And that's just what it is. It's been, it's because I think this stuff started in 1612. Then it skips over to 1620. So again, imagine that. Imagine that. You know, they prep these people real good, bring them in front of your face like they you. All right. If they were found without the limits he prescribed them. Probably some damn paperwork or something. And commanded the messengers his lordship sent him not to see his face again. Woo! Damn, that's kind of like what I just said about Mary. Unless they brought him a coach and 6 horses. For in these he had been informed by some Indians who had been in England, which is probably just English territory. Their great what's this word? Roances were drawn. Okay. The Lord Della somebody wore, finding that he was to expect no friendship from Powhatan, determined he should fear him. Having taken an Indian prisoner, therefore he cut off his right hand, which again, we talking about the right hand of God, which I'm feeling as though I'm connected to in some way, shape, or fashion. The right hand of God. I'm telling you, it's in my feed right now for YouTube, because I'm like, what are we really talking about just today? If we ain't talking the same thing, I don't know. Now, again, this could have just been to cut off, right? Cut off from being a nation, meaning like to cut ties or to hide information about, or to, make sure at the time we have this one taken care of over here so it don't get in the way, right? Okay. But it could also mean that, they cut off his hand. But again, I think that is the right hand man. Okay. And sent him to his master Powhatan. Again, these are talking about feminine, masculine energies today. These is women, the giants, us giants, the women that they have their eyes on that built something. Whether you built it, some kind of tribe, you built something on information, you built something on, this is what it's talking about. And some of these women know exactly who the hell they is. And maybe they don't. And maybe that's why I'm doing this video, because they don't. And maybe they got a chance to change their mind. Maybe that's what it is. Who knows? Yeah. Letting him know that he would serve all his subjects in that manner. And burn all the corn in his you know what? I'm telling y'all ain't playing. I got the best soul siblings. You know what I'm saying? Y'all don't even think y'all know what y'all be doing. When y'all share stuff and certain things, something about follow the corn just came to mind, right? We're going to stop right there. Wait a minute. All the corn in his country, which was ripe at this time, he, if he did not forbear all acts of hostility for the future. Again, I don't know who the hell they think they talking to, but that energy coming my way, and I ain't going. I know who I am. And things ain't going to end the same way this time. It just ain't. We're going to stop right there. I'm going to go ahead and pick back up because I wanted to talk more about the kidnapping of Pocahontas. So we talking about wisdom. We talking about the Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit has something to do with the right hand of God. That's what they want to do. And there are people like you that are a part of this that want it done. They have taken the information that they need from what they needed from the source and from the oracle. And that's time they want the oracle to die. And this will not happen. Source and the ancestors is already showing me. I've been having so many dreams. I don't even know. There was a blockage. I'm telling you, there was a blockage. Something was done. There was some kind of something. Binding or bound, and I'm telling you the whole thing about the eye covering or whatever it was. I'm telling you, Sekhmet in the damn drink that they made her, that threw her off her game. Every goddess, original goddess that had been put in a certain situation, they were jaded or blind. And I think with Mary, it might have been men. It might have been men too. But she had protection. She had protection. No, this time they chose to just act like the motherfucker don't exist. You see what I'm saying? So again, energy, source, ancestors, angels, and guides had to come in. And then now they want to say, you might be crazy or schizophrenic. No, I'm just seeing what the hell is going on. Tell me anybody else telling it to you like I am. It ain't only just me saying it, reading it in this old ass book in the Bible. It's in my mind. It's in me. The road is there. So, you can comment, rate, or subscribe if you like. And join us in the Facebook group American Aborigines Unchained, where we share more alternative information. And I will see you guys soon. Just be paying attention. That's all I can say. I just feel like, yes. Because all this stuff has already been happening. All this stuff has already been happening. But there's 10, 16, 11 going on here. The reception of the conduct of Pocahontas in England, whether she accompanied her husband, are thus described by Solomon. Okay. King James' queen and court paid her the same honor, were informed by Captain Smith what service she had done for the English nation. Wow. Look at that. And again, I'm looking at her story right here. And I'm looking at, who I feel we looking at. I'm thinking, I wonder, do they even know? Just like I asked myself some of the shit that been happening to me on a spiritual level. I wonder, when did you really didn't know? How you really didn't know?